Pleased to order. This meeting has been duly called. Notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. First item on the agenda is public comments. I do not see that we have any. Okay, then we will move on. Next item on the agenda, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding canvassing returns and declaring the results of the May 6, 2023 trustee election.
Board, you have the tapes from the voting machines, tally sheets, and a summary of returns at your place. The results are as follows. For at-large positions 1 and 2, Rucker Preston received 916 votes. Jason Wolf received 820 votes. Janet Lee received 996 votes.
Any questions? No? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the order canvassing the returns of the May 6, 2023 election as presented and declaring Ms. Lee and Mr. Preston elected at-large trustees? Ms. Bass? Ms. McDonald? All right. All in favor? All right. That passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 5:47.
We are going to kick off our board meeting this evening with a special treat from the Chartered Oak Choir.
So, 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 da da da, me, so, so, so. We still have a few more minutes before our meeting officially begins, so y'all can continue visiting. Thank you, Charter Oak. Y'all were incredible.
All right. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our student showcase tonight by North Belton Middle School. That's not right.
Charter Oak Elementary.
Yeah, it says North Belton. I was like, that's not right. That's Charter Oak Elementary musical performance. I don't know why that's there. They did that to mess with me. Anyways, the time is 6:15 and the Belton Independent School District Board of Trustees are now convened in a regular board meeting Monday, May 15, 2023 in the Pittenger Fine Arts Center located at 400 North Wall Street, Belton, Texas. A quorum of board members is present. This meeting has been duly called and notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. I want to welcome members of the audience and our live stream viewers to this meeting. As the Belton ISD Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This meeting of the Board of Trustees is held in public. It is not a public meeting. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items may not necessarily be handled in the order listed on this notice. This meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. These proceedings are being live streamed on BISD's YouTube channel, and a recording of the meeting will be available on the district's website in the coming days. Following tonight's meeting, for the video to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and to turn your cell phones off or put them into silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in Belton ISD. Please rise for a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Okay, please remain standing. Students from Charter Oak Elementary are here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the honors to the Texas flag.
Good evening, Board. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dominic Gonzalez and Karina Perez. Come on up. Dominic's going to lead us in the pledge to the U.S. flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Let me tell you just a little bit about these two. Dominic's favorite subject is math. They're both fifth graders at Charter Oak. When he's not in school, he likes playing football, and his friends say he's a gamer. He's very creative and athletic. Karina's favorite subject is writing. When she's not in school, she likes to watch TikTok videos, and her friends say she's thoughtful, funny, and truthful. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Next item, the first item on the agenda is administering the oath of office to board members. If Janet and Rucker will please join Erica in the front so she may administer the oath. Becca. Oh, Becca, sorry.
You'll raise your right hand. I, Rebecca Alamati, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of School Board Trustee for the Belton Independent School District of the state of Texas, and will do to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. There you go. Congratulations.
Hey, do y'all want to get pictures? Y'all already down there if your spouses want to come get pictures or.
Let's have, why don't we have whole board go on down, and we have any family members that want to take
Yeah,
pictures
here
with
they
them?
come. I see
And
Dr. Lee.
while they're heading down, I'll say a couple of things real quickly for those of you in the audience. So the role of a school board member is a really important one. Everybody forgets sometimes these are non-paid positions. They volunteer well over 100 hours every year to the school district to talk about things that are exciting like policy and all of those wonderful long-term business decisions of the school district. And so those that run for school board and are elected, we're grateful for their dedication, not only to the community at large, but to the students sitting right here in front of you tonight. So please give Janet and Rucker a round of applause one more time.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our recognitions for this evening. Let's give it up for the Charter Oak Choir once again. They've been around for 1 year, and already they've led their school in a Veterans Day concert. They've had a holiday sing-along, which sounds so much fun, and they've performed at UMHB. So congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Our first recognition this evening is our Host State qualifiers, and unfortunately, they couldn't be here this evening, so we're going to move right along to our VEX Robotics teams. We had Belton High School qualified for the World Championships, and New Tech High School at Wascow qualified for state. And this is a really prestigious competition, and we're really proud that we were so well represented by 2 high schools. Awesome. Up next, for the first time in Belton ISD history, we had 14 students from North Belton Middle School qualified for the national finals of the National History Day competition in Washington, D.C. They're going to be competing against students from all over the country. They did so well at the state level that their sponsor, their teacher, Elizabeth Howson, was named the winner of the James Sorrell Sweepstakes Award at the Heart of Texas Regional History Fair. And when they are not competing, they're going to be seeing the sights in D.C. That sounds like a lot of fun. And we're very proud that we had 2 students from Lake Belton High School place at the UIL Theatrical Design Competition. Nola Farrell is the state champion, and Liam McCullough placed second. Congratulations, guys. That's awesome. And now we're going to move along to our athletes for the UIL Powerlifting State Meet. We had 4 athletes from Lake Belton High School. Seth Fritz set 2 personal records and placed in the top 15. Adam Walden finished in the top 10. And Belton High School finished in, Isaac Jones finished in 5th place, and J.C. Myers finished 4th. Oh, okay, gotcha. Now we have our power lifters. Apologies. Great job, guys. Now we have 13 athletes that have been recognized by the Texas High School Coaches Association, Academic All-States. They are also power lifters. We had several from Lake Belton High School, including Dominic Simpson, Evan Rowland, Logan Gandara, and Aaron Tagle. And girls from LBHS, we had Katie Briggs, Anna Ramirez, Haley Piscata, Mackenzie Beatty, Jasmine Kastrup, Haley Koski, Karen Gibson, and Addison White. And from BHS, we had Jocelyn Quintanilla. Congratulations, guys. Next up, we are moving on to our world-class employees. For the first time this year, Belton ISD offered an Empowering Leadership Academy. This is for assistant principals who aspire to one day become a principal. To do this, they had to apply and attend meetings throughout the year. This was our one way we gave them a purpose-driven leadership journey. So we want to congratulate Ashley Thomas, Brooke Holt, Claudia Knox, Courtney Brewer, Corey Craddock, Lexi Newberry, Veronica Russell, Erica Garrett, and Megan Crook for being our first cohort. Congratulations, guys. Next, we had 67 teachers that this was their first year in Belton ISD and their first year ever as a teacher. And we are so proud that they chose Belton ISD as their first professional home. This year, we offered this group of new to profession teachers. They had the support of their mentor teacher. They had professional development throughout the year. And we just want to cap off the year with saying, we appreciate you guys and really value all that y'all brought through the district. Congratulations. And now we have our Temple Rotary Educators of the Month. Miss Dana Stewart was unable to attend. She was our Educator for the Month for April. But for May, we have Dusty Pepper. She is a first grade teacher at Sparta Elementary, and her principal, Miss Manley, says Miss Pepper is such a bright spot in our school community. She is very deserving of this recognition, and I am proud to be her principal. Oh, congratulations. And lastly, for our department showcase, this evening we are honoring our health services team. This is 34 full-time individuals, which includes registered nurses, licensed vocational nurses, and health aides. This year they've seen 11,300 plus students in more than 80,000 individual office visits. They've been very busy. They keep our students safe and healthy, and we really appreciate them, all that they do for our students. And that concludes our recognitions. Thank you.
So the best part of the meeting is now over, but if you would like to stay for the rest of the meeting, you can. If not, we'll give you all 4 or 5 minutes so that everybody can leave. And here they go.
All those parents are like, thank you. Roger, congratulations. Thanks,
Erica.
I don't know.
Erica.
Might want to wait a little bit before you
See, I don't. Here. Say Erica's name.
Erica Mott.
Yeah, but these have to be closer to you, than
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Did you need her though?
No.
No.
I was sitting here. I had it out here.
Testing.
I was testing. I was going, Erica.
You can hear.
Yeah, but when you're talking to D's, if they're out here, I noticed that when I was talking, I was like,
good.
I can barely hear myself. So you just got to move it closer when you speak.
We have no more cords to kick the. I don't know what to do with that. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say that.
Well, the guy who kicked him's not here, so.
We do have cords to kick for these. Yeah, they're all hardwired down here, so.
Yeah, he's got all the tools.
Participant.
My wife watched it too.
Okay.
Yeah, she said he's smooth.
When I calendar
You know, to be
now.
so young, and so poised.
And here we go. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items. I see none at this point, so we'll move on. But we do have one off-agenda item that's been brought to my attention. I have a board member who has requested to speak. Ms. McDonald.
Indeed. I did not know that the last time I saw Ty Taggart was the last time I was going to see Ty Taggart. Otherwise, I would have just told him this. I'm going to miss Ty. The best thing about Ty Taggart is his heart. He has such a heart for this community, for the students. He is a genuine person. He's the real deal. And it's been interesting watching him come on this board and grow and blossom in the way that he did. And I don't think you're going to find anybody else with a stronger commitment to this community than Ty Taggart. So I'm going to miss him.
I think we all will. The time is now 6:34, and the board will go into closed session for Personnel, Texas Government Code, Section 551.074. Just a second. Okay, the time is, oh, that's much better.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Well, it's big voice now. The time is 6:54 and the board, oh, sorry, the time is 6:54 and the board will now reconvene in open session. Next action item, consider and discuss, take appropriate action regarding reorganization of the board. In accordance with the board operating procedures, each year the board shall select a president, vice president, and secretary. Do we have a nomination for officers?
Yes, sir. I nominate Emmanuel Alcozer as our president, Chris Floor as our vice president, and Aaron Bass as our secretary.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Preston? Okay, all those in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
And Jeff, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work that you've done. It's not unnoticed. Thank you so much. And this has nothing to do with your track record or even when I was president mine either. It's just one of those policy items that we just reorganize every year when we can. So thank you all so much for the hard work that you do.
You are welcome.
And now we'll switch chairs.
Tucker, you have to move to, where do I go? You're coming with me. Okay.
Y'all can note, whoa, sorry about that. Y'all notice that we did not put nameplates on the front. When the board reorganizes, we'll wait until next time to put nameplates on the front. If you would, please give Jeff Norwood a round of applause, Ty Taggart a round of applause, and Manuel Alcozer as well. Manuel, welcome. Congratulations.
I will say the view over here is a little weird. And I'm going to miss Aaron being all the way over there. I mean, while we're getting everything straight, I mean, just to echo what Suzanne said, I mean, I can't thank Jeff enough for the leadership that he's shown in his time as president. I have personally learned so much from Jeff. I think one of the great things about this board is we've got an amazing group of people who are selfless leaders. Who support each other. And, you know, this is, you know, not moving on from the Jeff era, right? Jeff is still part of this. Suzanne, as prior president before that, is still part of us. I think this is actually what makes this group really strong, is the ability to kind of work together and continue this. And I look forward to continue to learn and grow more from this group.
Anyone else? Aaron? Jeff, as I indicated earlier, you've led this board through some tumultuous times, very, very difficult times, and you've taken some heat for that, and you've done it well. And I can't thank you enough for the leadership during those times. So we really appreciate that.
All right, and I appreciate that, and we can now just move on with the meeting.
All right, so now we're going down to action item 7B, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding board standing committee meetings. Dr. Smith?
Mr. President, members of the board, I bring to you tonight a proposal to consider, and I put this in the board letter. I know that in 2019 you began board committees, and those board standing committees were designed to make sure that our board had good, thoughtful action, thoughtful involvement in the things that mattered most to this board and to the community, and that was a policy committee and a facilities committee. And in the policy committee, it had been quite a few years since the board had really gotten into some policy committee items. And so we went through over a 3-year period and ended up with a large-scale policy review. We ended up with year-long studies on important policies that were important to this board and to our school district. And we had the opportunity to address a lot of that work through the policy committee. We've completed that at this point. and we're at a good spot with our policy committee. In turn, our facilities committee also did some amazing work along the way. You started out with a strong investment into some of our schools that needed it the most, and we gave regular updates to the board at that time and the facilities committee, and we're able to keep those projects moving quickly. And then we led to our board and our facilities committee actually doing a bunch of studying and getting the table set for our community to consider a bond election. And because of that result, because of that facilities assessment, because of all the work that we had on that facilities committee, we got to a point where our public voted to approve a bond election for Belton ISD last May. And over the past few months, as we're ending our policy work that we had been working on, and we've been in those facilities committee meetings, I actually feel like this is a pretty good time to pause those committees. We never want to call meetings on a regular basis just to call meetings for meeting's sake, and don't know that we need those meetings on the regular basis that we needed them in the past. So our proposal to you tonight is that we pause the standing committees until further notice. It very clearly states in the board operating procedures that the board president can reestablish those standing committees anytime we need, can change those committees. But I think we're at a good spot to pause those committees from here moving forward until they're needed again by the Board of Trustees. So our proposal tonight and our recommendation tonight is to pause those committees until further notice.
All right, let's open up that issue for discussion. Ms. McDonald? Anyone? Anyone on this end? Dr. Smith, I do have one question. When reading through the packet this afternoon, one of the things that we did with the policy committee was it was designed to take the place of the first reading. So, and I think you and I discussed this probably last week, maybe the week before, where we can use a workshop on the same day as a meeting and discuss a policy and use that as the first reading and then bring it on the agenda the same day, right?
Yeah, there are a couple ways around that. One is to be a month ahead and to be able to say we do a first reading in a regular board meeting and then the next month bring it back. If it's a really timely policy where we needed to act in a short amount of time the same month, then we would be able to bring it to you in a workshop and then follow up in the regular meeting. So we would still have the ability to do that, and honestly, we will still bring policies to you. It's not that policy work will go away. It's just that dedicated monthly time of studying policy, I don't think at this point is needed right now.
Okay. Well, with that said, do we have a motion to approve pausing board standing committee meetings as presented? Ms. Lee? Mr. Norwood? All those in favor? That passes unanimously. All right, now we go to item C, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding resolution for Purple Star designation. Dr. Smith?
I'm going to invite Mike Morgan up. We're really excited about this opportunity. So Mike's going to read through this resolution to you and just say a couple of brief items on this. And then I won't interrupt him because he's got 3 additional items after that, and we'll let him take it from there.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thank you, for Mr. President. And yeah, this is a really exciting one. As you know, the military-connected student population in Belton ISD has grown significantly over the past several years. We want to be great partners with our military families, and we want to put some things in place to help better support our military families and military-connected students. Tonight, we're going to bring you a resolution in support of military families for Belton ISD, and this is one part of the process that we would like to grow our partnership with military families through trying to achieve the Purple Star Campus designation, but also just to show our appreciation, support, and that we are going to strive to be great partners with our military families. So I will read this resolution quickly. Whereas today, over 1.3 million Americans are bravely serving in the United States Armed Services. More than 110,000 Texans are actively serving their nation away from home. Whereas Texas is the home to over 15 military installations with over 1,999 military-connected children. Approximately 4,000 of those students reside within Belton ISD. Whereas students who have parents in the military may experience 6 to 9 different schools during their K-12 education, which is 3 times more than their peers. Whereas frequent moves, family separations through deployment, and reintegration issues present unique challenges to military families, and whereas the Belton Independent School District is committed to meeting the unique needs of all students, especially those of military youth, therefore be it resolved that the Belton Independent School District offers our gratitude and support for all military personnel, their families, and veterans. Resolved that the Belton Independent School District will establish a trained point of contact at each building to support military families. And resolved that the Belton Independent School District will make every effort to connect military families with the resources that they need. We ask you tonight that you would pass this resolution for adoption, and that on this May 15th of 2023, that we would move forward with this resolution in support of military families.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Mike Morgan? Okay, go ahead.
I just have a comment. I was really excited to see this, and just thank you for bringing it. I think this is a smart move because of where we're located, just down the street from Fort Hood, or Fort Cavazos, sorry. So I'm really appreciative that we're doing this, and excited to serve our kids in a more unique way.
Mr. President, if I may say one thing too, I want to make sure I thank Mike and thank Dr. Cassandra Spearman. They're the ones that have brought this to us, because sometimes these things slip through cracks and you don't know about all these things. So we're really honored for the work that Mike and Cassandra have done to help us keep taking these steps forward. So I want to make sure I said thank you to Cassandra and Mike.
Absolutely. I wanted to echo that Dr. Spearman is spearheading this and has already started working with campuses. And we really look forward to moving forward with this to help better support our partners.
Any questions, comments on this end? Mike, one of the questions I had, I didn't know that we had that many students connected to military families until I read the packet today. You said 4,000, right?
It's grown substantially over the past 3 or 4
So out of the
years.
almost 14,000 kids we have in the district, 4,000 are connected to military families. That's a significant percentage.
At some campuses, it varies from campus to campus, but yes, we do have some large military-connected families.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the resolution for Purple Star designation as presented? Mr. Floor? Ms. Bass? All those in favor? That passes unanimously.
Thank you.
So, Mike, I guess you've got the next 2 items, so just keep on going.
I do. Thank you once again. And tonight we're here to take our next step in the construction of our addition and renovation projects. Tonight we come to you and we'll be asking for 3 separate actions to approve GMP, Guaranteed Maximum Price number 2. As we spoke last month, we are working to fast track these projects, and we wanted to get the initial site work and construction budgets done early, along with long lead items, and those were included in GMP number 1 that were approved at last month's meeting. Tonight we come back for GMP number 2. Do want to say thanks to members of our team who have worked really hard, and Steve Berry, who's our Director of Construction Projects and has kind of led this work. We're thankful for the 2 architectural firms that we've worked with on these 3 addition and renovation projects, along with our construction manager, and the work that has basically been going on for over 7 months now to get us to this point. We are near the end of the design development, and we will start construction very quickly as school wraps up in May, and you'll start seeing work at all 3 of these campuses going on throughout the summer and throughout next school year. Also thankful to the principals and staffs at the campuses for their input in the design and then the process, and then for the accommodations they'll make while construction's going on. So the first one tonight I would ask you to do is consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding GMP number 2 for BHS. Core Construction is serving as our construction manager, and they've worked closely with O'Connell Robertson throughout the design phase. The formal proposals for this GMP were submitted to Core Construction on April 20th, and this is for all the remaining scope of work not previously bid in GMP 1. A guaranteed maximum price that we ask for tonight is to approve GMP number 2 of $18,648,992 submitted by Core Construction for Belton High School additions and renovations.
All right, anyone have any questions, comments? This in? No one? No takers? All right. Do we have a motion to approve GMP number 2 of $18,648, or $18,648,992 submitted by Core Construction for Belton High School additions and renovations? Jeff? Mr. Norwood? Second? Ms. McDonald? All those in favor? That passes unanimously.
Ms. Bass.
Ms. Bass? Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, you abstained. And for the record, Ms. Bass abstained from that vote. All right, Mike, item E.
Yes, I would ask now that we consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding GMP number 2 for Lake Belton Middle School additions. Once again, Core Construction has worked closely with O'Connell Robertson throughout this design process. Bids were received by April 25th, 2023 for all the remaining scope of work not included in GMP 1 for Lake Belton Middle School. So tonight I ask you to approve guaranteed maximum price number 2 of $7,852,796 submitted by Core Construction for Lake Belton Middle School additions.
All right, any discussion, comments on this end? No questions? No questions. Do we have a motion to approve GMP number 2 in the amount of $7,852,000 and not $7,852,796 is proposed for Lake Belton Middle School additions? Ms. Lee, second? Rucker? All right. All those in favor? And for the record, Ms. Bass abstained. That passes. All right, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. President. And finally, we would ask you to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding GMP number 2 for Southwest Elementary additions. Core Construction has once again been our construction manager on this project, and they've worked closely with PBK Architects as the design of the project is now being completed. The construction documents for the second phase of construction are a little different. That this is not the final GMP for Southwest, so this GMP will include concrete, roofing, and structural steel packages. Formal proposals were received by May 2nd, 2023. And tonight we ask you to approve the guaranteed maximum price number 2 of $4,152,838 submitted by Core Construction for Southwest Elementary additions.
All right, any questions, discussion? No one? Do we have a motion to approve GMP number 2 of $4,152,838 submitted by Core Construction for Southwest Elementary additions? Ms. McDonald, second. Mr. Floor, all those in favor? That passes unanimously. All right, Dr. Smith, going on reports.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Trustees, as you know, every year we have a whole host of things that happen in the summertime that a lot of people don't even realize happen in the summertime. It's my honor to welcome Holly Moore here tonight. She's going to go over a brief presentation with you all just on some of the summer academic program offerings that we have here in Belton ISD. Take it away, Holly.
Great. Good evening, honored board. I'm very excited to be here tonight to share with you all of our 2023 summer programs that we are offering this year. So here is a logistical overview of where and when our programs are offered. The majority of our programs are around 3 weeks, with some being a week long. Each program is led by an assistant principal, which is designed to give them a leadership experience in the principal role. Our biggest program, where we currently have 685 students registered, our biggest yet, is our Summer Adventures in Learning, or also better known as SAIL, for grades kindergarten through 5th grade. This is a highly interactive program where students are given a chance to develop multiple academic strengths. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm nervous today, but I am. Excuse me. And explore, I think it's because I'm so excited about this because it's such great stuff. to explore their passions through enrichment such as chemistry in the classroom and around the world explorers. SAIL also provides a GT component where our GT students may select specific GT passion projects such as Ladies' Knights and Castles through the story of Crispin. SAIL is a rich experience for our students, truly immersing them in our journey of graduate competencies. Our next programs are our bilingual and, for the first time, our dual language summer program, which serves our students in pre-K through second grade. All of our bilingual and dual language students will experience the same great enrichments that SAIL offers, but we will also have specific learning that will support their English and Spanish needs to build their confidence as they transition into the next school year. Our last elementary summer programs are STEM and humanities camps. Students select which area they're most passionate about, and for a week, they get to explore in-depth cultures from around the world through dance, art, writing, and food, or they get to solve everyday new problems with exciting new ways using Legos and robots. Next is our extended school year camp, supporting our special needs students for all grades. This camp is about meeting students' needs based on specific skills that students can grow to be successful for the next school year. Now, let's take a closer look at our middle school programs. Our first program is Scholars on Academic Routes, also known as SOAR. This is a 6th through 8th grade student program, and students will spend their time in small group learning core subjects to strengthen their skills as they transition to the next school year. Students will have the opportunity to explore multiple different clubs, such as Dungeons and Dragons, and also Adventures in Gardening. We also offer multiple opportunities for our middle school students, such as a new GT camp, where students will solve real-world problems in the area of engineering and fine arts. We are also offering a STEM camp, where we're partnering with CGI to give students the chance to learn coding while accessing Spiro robots. Another opportunity is our Algebra Readiness program, which targets middle school students who plan to take Algebra 1 next year, giving students a chance to strengthen their math understanding so they feel better prepared. Lastly, we are offering a multitude of opportunities for our high school students to support their graduation and college and career readiness goals. Our goal for high school is to create a program where busy high school students can participate in and complete credits such as, or courses such as credit recovery, PE for original credit, and TSI opportunities that can be done in person with teacher support or at home virtually. Another opportunity is we are partnering with Temple College to provide a TSIA boot camp that will give students the opportunity to enroll in dual credit classes. As a reminder, TSI is the Texas Success Initiative, which is one way the state grants the students college and career readiness. So we are very proud of the opportunities that are being provided for our students, because summer programs is all about ensuring exceptional learning experiences that bridge the gap from one school year to the next. So at this time, do we have any questions?
Ms. Lee?
Just a statement. This has just grown and over the last several years, and even through COVID, you know, like the fact that you've been able to bring it back and make it so much better than ever. It's just amazing. And I really want to thank you and all the thought and planning that goes into it and the team that puts it together. Thank y'all.
Thank you. It really is the assistant principals that are our summer program principals, and then all the teachers. It takes a huge village, and the cool thing is, 3 years ago, we were about 180 students in SAIL, and now we're almost 700. So we're impacting lots of kids, which is amazing.
You know, if everyone involved is as excited as you are contagious.
I know.
I'm excited. I want to go
nervous.
join some of these programs based on your presentation. So thank you, Hallie.
Thank you.
Ms. Bass?
Yes. I just want to echo the sentiment as well. Just really proud of the work that you guys are doing. I feel like you're kind of repackaging summer school, and it's unique and it's engaging. Just a couple of questions I have. Are any of these programs mandatory, or are all of these optional?
So technically, they are all optional. However, we highly encourage some of our high school programs, but I would say we also really try to reach out to parents across all of our programs and encourage families to participate.
Okay. And then another question I had, just because it's grown so much, are you having any challenges with just staffing all of? And what are the perks for teachers
So it's
giving
so
up some
interesting
time?
that you bring that up. So 3 years ago, when we expanded this program, it was a struggle to staff. Even last year, we barely got enough teachers. This year, we have a plethora, and a lot of them are returning teachers, and a lot of them are telling us it's because it is so much fun. They are so engaged and so excited, but at the same time, we are concentrating deep in reading and writing and math and science, but we're doing it through a highly engaging environment. And so that's what's been exciting, is to see all the teacher applications flooding in this year. Anything else?
Mr. Floor?
Yeah, and I think to add on to that, we do also bring in partners from the community, so.
Yes.
I might know a little bit about that. I got to tell you, I get super geeked out about this.
We appreciate them.
We had the opportunity, CGI last year, to come in and do a STEM camp that was based out of Lake Belton Middle School. And I think we had 20 kids or 22 kids, and we absolutely had a blast over 3 days. And we've had the opportunity to come in and do it again for a second time. And I know we're already up to over 25 kids. And I get geeked out about it because I'm one of the instructors. So I get, like, this is my opportunity to get into the classroom, right, and kind of do the thing. So, we had such a great experience. I mean, I'm so very much looking forward to what we have going on this summer.
Yeah, we are too, and we love our partnerships, and each year we just hope to keep expanding and adding and making our summer programs better.
Anyone else on this end? No?
If I could just say,
Sure.
I do want to thank Holly and everybody involved, but one of the mindsets that we wanted to be in regarding the summer school was to revamp summer school and get out of the old mindset of summer school is all about remediation. And we figured, well, if we make it fun, make it exciting, start doing things like bringing in community partners to do things like coding and robotics, the more we can do that and have an interest convergence around students and their algebra skills, their reading skills, their science skills, et cetera, it's an extended school year for our kids. And in a time where we have a lot of people telling them that they fell behind during COVID, we want to say, you know what? We value you so much. We want to bring you back into the school and have some fun with you and continue to reinforce those skills, because we know the more time on task that they have, the better off they'll be moving forward. So I really applaud our entire team of not having the remediation mindset, but instead having the innovation mindset to do something pretty special, because going from 180 to 680 is a pretty big jump.
No other questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next item, Policy Committee report, I guess that's me.
That's you.
All right. We discussed basically 3 items. One of the items was the instructional materials policy. I mean, we're not bringing that to the board today, but we talked about the forms or the exhibits that are attached to the policy. Some of the comments that I made were about the use of the phrase penal code in the policy itself. I think we need to use the language that's in the penal code, and I had asked council during our meeting if we could maybe take a word or two out. In my view, making the standard look like it's a criminal standard makes it more difficult for a committee to remove a book that they feel is inappropriate. In following the policy, it appears that the standard is quite high. So in my view, we need to lower the standard some so that the committees don't feel so strapped in taking a book off the shelf. Because although you're wanting to take a book off the shelf, maybe because the language is so strong that you can't go with that. So we had some discussion about that with Dr. Melinda Golden and Dr. Lovesmith, and I think we're going to talk about that in the workshop coming up. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So they took notes about all that, so you guys will have more to come whenever we convene in a workshop. There were 2 other policies that we made changes to, and they're in your consent agenda. One of those is DEC local, the compensation and benefits. And this was also in Dr. Smith's board bulletin to you that we received on Friday. One item or one change is we're going to increase the local leave day accrual for paraprofessionals and auxiliary staff to 5 days, which is in line with what professionals and administrators already receive. Number two, we're going to change the extended illness leave to allow biweekly employees access to leave if they meet those requirements. And number three, we're going to establish 3 days of bereavement leave. Todd Schiller told us that those changes were in response to discussions with staff. So it's really something that they wanted, and it's something in response to what they wanted, we're giving that to them. So those are the three items that were changed with DEC local. The other was BE local, which deals with board meetings and our operating procedures, and specifically how we bring an item to the agenda. As it stands now, we have one trustee can make the request, and based upon the change that's in the consent agenda, it's going to take 2 trustees now if you want to bring something to the board for consideration and put on the agenda. I think that's all that we changed, and those 2 items, as I said, are on the consent agenda. Any questions or comments about?
Yeah, and on that last one about the 2 board members needing to be able to put
Yes.
something on an agenda, I checked around, and that is standard practice among most school boards. It is also the standard practice in our city of Belton. It's something that's we just needed to change and
Right.
had not been able to do that. And the good news is with our school board, there's not one member of this board, no matter where they're elected, that doesn't represent the entire district. So we all work together for the common good for every student in all the square miles, however many hundred they are in this district, and we all work together on that. So, yeah, I think that's a good change. It is standard practice and has needed to be done.
Right, and visiting with Dr. Smith earlier, it's not a novel idea. This is not something that we just thought about here recently. I mean, this is something that goes on across boards all over the state. Is that right, Dr. Smith?
Yeah, I think you'll find that in many boards. And here's the other thing, is this is really only about creating an agenda item. Every board member can ask for any information that they want. We're talking about crafting the board agenda for the meeting specifically. So we wanted to just be clear about that if we're bringing it up and 2 board members want it added to an agenda, that we have the ability to do that. Sometimes a board member may want more information on a specific topic, but it might not be appropriate for every board member or in the meeting. We might just need to send that information separately. So this is really just about crafting the actual agenda per month.
All right, from the Policy Committee, any questions or comments?
But just one on that, and it was something that Manuel, you and I had talked about, and Dr. Smith just alluded to it, and that was that, it's putting something on the agenda, which is totally different than requesting more information, because if you look at every one of our board meetings, and this one, it's item number 10, board request for new information and or reports. So every board member here can ask for anything at any given time. That's different than putting something on the agenda. And like I said, there may be something that I'm very interested in. We're not trying to keep me from getting that information. I can request it. It's actually in here, but putting on the agenda may not always be the best way to do that. So
That's a good point. Anything else? All right, Dr. Smith, Superintendent's report.
Trustees, thanks for your time tonight. I think I might be clicking through here in a second, maybe. Maybe not. This might be the best superintendent report you've ever had. Well, I might need to let y'all click. Can y'all click through? Is it advancing for us? There's a whole lot of stuff that's happening. So let's do this. I'll walk you through a couple of things real quickly, and we'll see if they pull this up, and if not, I don't think it's that big of a deal. A couple of things that we wanted to move to in the last couple of months was to be able to actually talk to you about our strategic plan and talk about exceptional learning experience as an example for this. So a couple of the highlights that I think are important to point out is the experience that we have for kids goes far beyond the classroom in Belton ISD. Sometimes we talk about exceptional learning. We're thinking of what's happening inside the classroom, but we know that our students' learning experiences outside the classroom matter as well. And a couple of those experiences that I think are important for us to bring up as an example was the Penguin Project that we just had a presentation of for our community over the past month. That opportunity for students to learn and grow together, to be on stage, to present their unique gifts and abilities, and to do it in a way where they were celebrated appropriately in an inclusive manner for our school district, it was one of those special things that I will never forget in my career. And so I thank our board, and Aaron Bass, I know, led the charge, and many of you were at that session that we went to for our training. I thank our board for helping us find this opportunity and then asking us along the way about where we're going with it. That experience for kids, again, is one of those that's it's more than learning in the classroom can do. It's about the experience that they have outside the classroom as well. It looks like this is the presentation, so let's scroll on down. This is very odd to me. All right, keep going. So move on up one for me, if you would. So a couple other of those exciting opportunities that we've been able to see over the past month. Lake Belton High School, we have the Incubator EDU program, and that was started 2 years ago. If you remember our first presentation here when we talked about it, this is an entrepreneurship program. So the learning experience for kids is about developing ideas for a business solution that meets a problem, that meets a need in a community, and to get coaching from outside business members in our community on developing that business proposition. And so this was a pitch night where they basically went in front of, everybody's familiar with the show Shark Tank, in front of a group of business leaders and pitched their idea, got feedback, and we actually had a student that was awarded seed money for his pitch that he did that night. But this is giving our students real-world experience and entrepreneurship, real-world coaching in the classroom, and the opportunity to not only learn about developing a business plan, but actually develop one while they're in school and learning along the way. And then on the right-hand side, you see some pictures for our education and training practicum. The education and training practicum students, these are students who have gone through our education and training program. They are interested in becoming teachers for the future. And so we had the ability to sit with them the other day and have feedback from them. These are students that are actually going into our elementary schools and working with teachers, supporting them, learning about lesson design, learning about best instructional practice, and being able to decide whether or not they want to pursue a career in education. The students that we talked to the other day were actually offered employment in Belton ISD if they want to come back and work for us as instructional assistants in the classroom while they start their college career at Temple College. And so there was an exciting buzz in the room because all of a sudden they were pursued as future employees in Belton ISD, and I thought that was another great learning experience. If you scroll on down, we have a few end-of-the-year activities that have been going on. We've been able to highlight Belton High School in their award ceremony recently. They went through their beef scholarships, and we're thankful for our beef partners in handing out such amazing scholarships to our students every year. We also have all of the banquets. It's banquet season that's happening right now, celebrating the work not only of our students but our teachers. And then Teacher of the Year awards, Every Kid a Winner awards, and graduation coming up. What you see in those pictures are Every Kid a Winner awards, and you know those words mean something to Belton ISD. The idea that these are adults in our system that go beyond their daily job and go beyond to make something special for kids, and they're recognized throughout the school district. And so handing out those Every Kid a Winner awards throughout our school district right now as we have 19 campuses and nearly 2,000 employees. It's an exciting time to recognize the work that they've done to create those experiences for kids. Finally, graduation ceremony, as you all know, is probably it's hard for me to say the best, but it's right up there. It's one of the best experiences that we are able to have as a team of 8 in recognizing our students as they complete their journey in Belton ISD and look forward to their next steps. That's coming up on May 25th, and we couldn't be more proud of the graduates that we have this year in our school district. for the first time, we have 3 graduation ceremonies this year. So thank you, board, for your continued support. Thank you for working through us with some of our technical difficulties along the way tonight. And that concludes the superintendent report for this month.
Mr. Floor?
I think you missed an activity.
Did I?
I think you did.
I was a little thrown off, I won't lie.
Can we talk about the Parents as Partners Conference?
Yes, sir, I apologize, yes.
Yeah.
So there was an idea to have, and I credit Jen Bailey for this. She and her team worked extremely hard on this idea. And there's an idea that we had to create an opportunity for parents to come in and learn as well and really feel valued as partners in their child's education. As you know, I think it was last February, we began talking to you about different steps that we were taking along the way to pull in more partnerships with our families because COVID had implications on us regarding getting parents in the building and involved in their students' education. And so we continued to work on that, and Jen had the idea to expand that and be able to say, well, let's talk about some topics that really matter to parents. Let's bring them in, let's provide some of the resource, and let's sit arm in arm with them to talk about how we can best support our students along the way. And we had a great opportunity to get that kicked off this year. Our intention is to build on that for the future and to make sure that we continue to expand that idea, because the more we can partner with our parents and go arm in arm with them to support their students, the better off we will be as a school district. Thank you for bringing that up. You're right. I'd forgot about that.
Can I add on to that?
Yes, sir.
So I went to that wearing my parent hat. And unfortunately, there were 12 sessions, I think 4 turns of 3 sessions each, right? So there were 12 sessions. I got to tell you, some really important stuff happened there. It was an amazing event. And so I'm looking at you, Jennifer. I know there was an army of people there. It was a great event. I think, turnout didn't quite match actual turnout didn't quite match RCP, right? But really important stuff happened there, right? It was parents talking to other parents in the rooms about really important topics, right? And so I went to 3 sessions, right? So the first session I went to was about the impact of social media on our kids. And there were 2 folks related to the district attorney's office there, and really kind of dove into some pretty horrifying statistics about what some of our kids are exposed to, and how many of our kids are exposed to these things using social media. It was terrifying, quite honestly. But that led to some great conversations amongst the parents, in the transition between sessions. I then went to a session with one of our mental health and counseling partners, and got to talk a little bit about how to recognize signs of emotional stress in our kids, right, and how to have those kind of conversations. And the parents in the room, right, we had the opportunity to potentially share some things that were going on in our lives, right, and kind of talk through some of those things as an examples and get some strategies for how we might be able to deal with that. And then the last session I went to was with Charlie Ayers from Workforce Solutions in Central Texas, and really talking about what are our kids getting ready for, right? What does the work environment look like that they're getting ready to go into? What are the hot local jobs in the area and skills, and how do you kind of help your kids be ready for that? And again, great conversation there. So I think I talked to a lot of folks over lunch, a lot of folks during and after the sessions, and I heard many times, Jennifer, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I've never seen anybody do this. I've talked to some of my, friends in other districts about what I'm going through right now, and is there some way we can invite other districts next year, right? I actually heard that from multiple people. And so I can't thank you enough, right? I mean, we know that involving parents in schools and parents who are involved in their children's lives, right, and in their school lives, success happens easier there, right? And so this is, I think, an important step in the parent involvement, and I hope this is the first of many, right? I hope this was, the pilot year, and we continue to grow this, because it definitely touched me. I got a lot out of it, but every parent that I talked to had a great experience. So sorry for stealing your report from you.
No,
but,
that's good.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Aaron just reminded me that there's a couple of CTE things that I missed on there as well, sorry. And I wanted to point out that we had a student in that first picture in the CTE slide at the top. We had a student that actually had gone through one of our CTE programs and was again offered a job on the spot, and we were celebrating him the other day. And then we had a panel of students talking to us specifically about their experience in our CTE programs and how enriching it had been for them. So sorry I skipped those as well. We went through those rather quickly.
Anyone else?
I can add more slides if you want.
You serious?
No.
All right, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to pull an item for discussion? And for the record, when we vote, I am abstaining from item N, easement agreement for access with Heights Evergreen developers.
So I think we need to pull that one out separately then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pull it out separately.
Yeah, we'll vote on that separately.
Right, so we're going to vote for all the way through item M. So do I have a motion? Ms. Lee? Ms. McDonald? All right.
Before you vote, I just want to make sure that I have this right. So on the consent agenda, 9A through M is what you are voting on at this point.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor? All right, that passes unanimously for items A through M. So now we go to item N. Do we have a motion for item N? Ms. Norwood? Ms. Bass? All those in favor? That passes 6-0. And for the record, I did not vote on item N. Do we have a motion to approve? All right, that's already there. All right, let's move to item 10. Board request for new information and/or reports. No one? All right, the calendar of events. You've been provided a calendar. Dr. Smith already mentioned that graduation is on Thursday, May the 25th at the Expo Center. All right, and the rest of the items are on your calendar. We'll now proceed with public comments regarding non-agenda items. As mentioned earlier, in order to comply with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the board may not respond to comments or otherwise discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on the meeting agenda. Participants are allowed 3 minutes for public comments regarding non-agenda items. We have a timer on the screen that shows your allotted time, and a sound will occur at the conclusion. When I call your name, please come to the podium and state your name and city of residence for the record. The first person is Christine Nelson.
Thank you. I think my husband's going to come just for support because I'm not great at public speaking, okay? I am just here as a concerned, I guess, taxpayer, also a concerned grandparent, but more as a, my line of work is in child safety. Last week on May the 8th, there was an incident at my grandson's school that was almost near fatal for my grandson, okay? It's okay. I'm not going to go into discussion about that. I have spoke to someone that's going to handle that matter for me, okay? But what I do have a concern about is a controlled substance was passed during a class that my grandson is mandated to take by the state because he failed the STAR test. In this class, there is a teacher that's supposed to be teaching him and assisting him for math the day before STAR test, okay? My grandson, I will thank, let me go back for a second. I will thank the nurse at the school because I credit her with saving my grandson's life, okay? Get to the hospital not knowing what's going on. Come to find out 45 minutes later, we get a call from the school about this illegal substance that was passed during class. I have spoke to people, I've gone to, oh my goodness, I've gone to several people after I had expressed my concern to the principal who blew it off, okay? At the end of the day, the only thing I had asked that I think every parent has the right to know is that every parent be notified that 6, 7 kids were provided this substance at school during class. The last words that I got was, I don't feel the need to. I work in child safety. I hold it dear to my heart. And I honestly feel like it should be heard. That's why I'm here tonight. If no one at Belton ISD feels the need to put it out and alert parents of this issue, it is my right to come and speak on it and make sure that someone, maybe one or two kids, parents will sit down and talk with them about this matter and ensure it doesn't happen again. Because this is a week later and not one thing has been said. I read the email that came out on Friday from the school. Not one mention that, this was an issue in class. I know what happened last year at Belton ISD. We were to the point of having another incident happen this year at Lake Belton Middle School. And the words that I got was, I came out and asked, don't you feel the need to notify these 800 parents, at least, what has happened? I can look at the smirk on somebody's face, I can get up and be the bigger person and walk out, but when someone tells me there's not a need for it, I have an issue with that. About the 50 to 100 people I've talked to since then, because I left, and I've had plenty of people that their child goes to that school, and they have reached out to me, what happened? My response, there will be a time for me to come forward. I thank you. My time's up.
All right, now the board will go into closed session. The time is now 7:44 p.m.
I think you gotta read those codes.
A, B, and C.
Right there. So, for
551.071,
551.082.
551.082, 551.074, and 551.072. All right, it's now 8:52 PM, and we are now back in session. Item 15, action items. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding the resolution authorizing the purchase of real property, River Farms, Bell County, Texas. Do we have a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing the purchase of said property and authorize the board president to execute any and all instruments appropriate or necessary to effectuate the purchase of the property? Do we have a motion? Ms. Bass? Mr. Norwood? All those in favor? That passes unanimously. All right. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding a resolution authorizing the purchase of real property, Beale Street, Belton, Texas. Do we have a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing the purchase of said property and authorize the board president to execute any and all instruments appropriate or necessary to effectuate the purchase of the property? Do I have a motion? Ms. Lee, second? Mr. Preston, all those in favor? That passes unanimously. All right. Any items for any, well, it's not on here, Matt, but.
You already did it.
No, I'm talking about any other items for future agenda.
I think you
or
already
reports.
did
Okay, we did that already? All right. So item 16, there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 8:54 PM. Bang.